Hello again, it's been a while. I was almost ready to start work on this video. I had all my materials recorded when I almost killed my PC. It was simple beginner mistake that threw away almost 2 days of my life. I didn't know what is happening and why it's happening. Why my PC refused to cooperate. Why suddenly my Unreal Engine editor tells me there is not enough memory and it's forcing to quit. Yes, I know I have not best PC configuration, that's why I choose a relatively small scale of that project, but I was really start thinking, okay, maybe I can't do even that. If you're wondering what happened, it was total not mistake. When I created landscape for my island level, instead hit create button, I pressed fill world. That created huge, definitely too big for my computer terrain. Fortunately, I didn't quit. I found out what is happening. I solved the problem and I'm back on the track. As a positive twist, I remade my island level to acceptable size. I added as well vehicle system. But first, if you are watching this devlog for the first time, here is a small reminder of what happened until now. In previous episodes, I managed to create my first proper chain event. After some struggling, I got my first NPC reacting how I wanted, thanks to help of creator this framework which I'm using, Story Framework 5. I got a drawer modified to my needs, and slowly from a big chaos everything started to become a part of first draw of my level. Since then, I fully expanded the grey box of the office. There is no longer just 3 rooms like before. I added extra floor, hall entrance, and currently locked section. There is a reason for that, as the player will return here later for final. I also kept working on my quest last day in the office, improving texts, adding visual hints as a part of the journal. I also added side quest exploring one of the framework mechanics, which is combining items. In our case, player has to prepare his backpack by combining empty backpack with required items. Besides office, I work also on my island level, a logistic base with a small port, where main character arrives to board the research vessel Galatea. And here our adventure will truly begin. For now, buildings are just grey box. I will next work on inside layout. I added as well water plugin, and that's exactly where my big mistake happened. I still didn't know at this moment that I added the biggest possible landscape. So after I added ocean, everything started to work a little bit weird. I used to moments when Unreal need to think, so I didn't pay much attention until I added landscape material. And that was too much for my PC. For now, everything fortunately is solved. I remade landscape and now I have proper terrain behind my base. I needed that because that was a time to add drivable vehicles. Why do I need vehicles? Well, I think it's time to tell a few more words about idea behind this game. Our main character is an archaeologist working for fictional European Institute of Archaeology. He travels to Africa to search for legendary missing treasure gold of Rommel. Legends say that German forces under his command transported stolen by Nazis in North Africa treasures. Whatever was in those boxes never was found, and no one knows for sure what happened with treasure. So as you can imagine, we will have larger distances to cover, and using vehicle will be both fun and practical for travel between points. I'm still very new to this. I got stuck for days because of landscape mistake, but this devlog keeps me moving. The project is far, far away from even half finished, but it's alive, it's growing, and I'm learning with every single crash. I had to rebuild this level a couple times, testing different tools and trying to decide pure PCG or maybe Callisto World. Should I use a cool looking water plugin or water shader that looks great from distance but feels kinda cheap up close? Why did I focus on this so much? I felt I had to find the right proportions for the level, not just for gameplay, but also to fit my technical limitations. I only have 16 GB of RAM and there's no chance for a quick upgrade, so I had to be 100% sure I could actually work on this level without my PC exploding. Only by knowing my limits can I properly design the quests. In the end, I kept the water plugin with added Niagara ripple effects, but I faked the ocean by using a lake. So no infinity water issues. I filled most of the map with random biomes and trees from Callisto World, which I have in my library for some time at this point, but just recently I decided to give it a try, and it's a great add-on, I have to say. I also ditched my previous landscape material for the one from Callisto, especially for the GPU-based grass. I had something different, I liked that, but now I have Callisto one and I like that even more. It stretched to horizon but cost almost nothing in terms of performance. Everywhere you can see grass. Great. I added as well weather effects to the landscape and I took the car for a spin. To be honest, on an empty map I had about 30 FPS and with all this heavy stuff it dropped to around 26. So kinda not much. I definitely need to look into optimizing the editor more, but what did this test give me? Now after clearing out all the random PCG, I finally know how much space I have. I can plan quests based on real locations and the time it takes to travel between events. It gave me confidence that I actually have enough space to continue. Why I'm even doing that? Why I'm trying to push forward this project? I have to say it's not only about having time after my new operation. I wanted to do something very personal. I grew up on Indiana Jones stories, movies, comic books, and to be honest, long time ago I wanted to study archaeology. As you can guess, didn't work at that time, so kinda it's my second chance to become an archaeologist. Okay, just kidding, but I do still love history. Anyway, you could say behind this little adventure game stands motivation, which I hope is strong enough to help me bring this project to the end. For now, that's all I think. See you next time. If you don't forget to press subscribe.